I started watching Infowars probably about a decade ago. Probably over a decade. I don't remember exactly. But I know that George Bush was in office. And so when George Bush was in office, Infowars, which is hosted by Alex Jones, I really got into it and I really paid close attention to what they were saying. And let me tell you some of the things that they said about George Bush when I first started watching Infowars. After September 11th, George Bush put in a series of laws in place that currently and still affects us to this day. One, George Bush put into law some type of action that gave the police the right to use more deadly force and to prevent the citizens of the United States from being able to fight the police or be able to file lawsuits. So pretty much it gave the police more power and the citizens less rights. I don't remember what that law was. But then Infowars also claimed that after September 11th, George Bush put laws in place that took away the citizens' privacy. So that means that the government now has the ability to check your emails, check your phone, and snoop on you, and you don't have any more privacy. According to Infowars, George Bush also put the United States in a police state, which means that the police had the right to stop people and check their IDs, and the police would have checkpoints. So the police would just stop and ask for people's ID at different checkpoints they set up. There were photos of trains and concentration camps and the coffins that they were supposed to put everybody in. All of this is in existence when George Bush was in office. Infowars claimed that we were going into World War III against Iran, the collapse of the banking systems, and George Bush had plans to kill off a lot of minority people. Infowars even claimed that when George Bush was getting ready to leave office, George W. Bush, the second Bush, not the first one, the second Bush, of course, because this is the one that was in office before Barack Obama was in office. So when George Bush was getting ready to leave office, Infowars claimed that George Bush was going to enact some type of law that made him a dictator and the election would not happen, and that George Bush would remain in office and there would be no other president after George W. Bush. He even claimed that George Bush was Hitler and the Antichrist. Does this sound familiar? Almost everything that I just said is now exactly what Infowars is claiming Barack Obama is guilty of. So when George Bush was in office, I kept thinking to myself, how is it that Infowars could possibly know all of this information and be able to bring it, where is he getting this info from? So when Barack Obama came into office and George Bush left the office and George Bush did not put in a dictatorship, I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I've been going along with this all this time and this man has been lying to me? Because if he was not lying this whole time, George Bush should still be president. So after Barack Obama came into office and he started saying the exact same thing about Barack Obama that he said about George Bush, I started to think, oh my God. You mean to tell me I got caught up in all this bullcrap just for him to then start repeating the exact same thing about Barack Obama that he said about George Bush? I've been lied to. So I continued to watch Infowars over the years just to see what they were going to say. And I noticed a pattern of how they operate. And I'm going to tell you how it works. First of all, Infowars is the propaganda machine for the elite, for the exact same people they claim to be trying to inform you about. This is how it works. Infowars makes a claim, okay? They call it a prediction. They're actually not making a prediction. The elite has already told them what to say. So then they make a video proclaiming something is going to happen. Like, say, for instance, they claim that the news media is against Donald Trump and they're trying to prevent Donald Trump from being president. So then the next thing you hear on TV is a Stop Trump campaign. Okay, so again, Infowars has already been informed by this same group that they call the globalist that they're going to put on television something that is trying to stop Donald Trump from being president. Okay, so as soon as you hear it, you think, oh, Infowars is telling the truth, right? No, Infowars told you what the elite is planning next, but they're telling you for misinformation or disinformation. They're not trying to tell you the real reason why they're putting on this pretend show to stop Donald Trump from being president, when in actuality, they have already pre-selected Donald Trump to be the next president. So then the next thing you hear is Donald Trump repeating certain things that you heard on Infowars. Donald Trump is in on it with the elite group as well as Alex Jones, pretending to be an outsider. Say, for instance, Alex Jones stated that Hillary Clinton is so sick. Oh my gosh, they have a video called Sick Hillary, right? So the Sick Hillary video was to inform people that Hillary Clinton is so sick that she cannot be president. So probably like a week later, you're going to see on television that Hillary Clinton is sick and she fell down or something. Okay. Now you're thinking, oh, Donald, Infowars is correct, right? Because you saw he made a prediction that Hillary Clinton is sick. So you're watching television thinking, oh my God, Infowars is right. Hillary Clinton is too sick to be president, right? Wrong. Infowars is telling you that this is what the elite has planned to place on television to get you to believe that Hillary Clinton is too sick. Why? So you can vote for Donald Trump. See, you have to read between the lines. So they're going to tell you something, then you're going to see it on TV. And then you have to try to figure out, why did they put this on TV? Because they're not placing it on TV because they want you to know the truth. They're placing it on TV because they don't want you to know the truth, or they're trying to manipulate the public in a way, but you have to try to figure out what is it they're really trying to do. Okay, this same elite group, they own all of the media, radio, television, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Yahoo, Google. They own it all, okay? So when you see the news one place, you're going to see it somewhere else, okay? So when Infowars says something is going to be in the news, pay close attention. Sooner or later, you're going to see it. And then you have to try to figure out, what are they trying to accomplish with this? Remember, this same group of people that Alex Jones is talking about, the so-called globalist, okay, the persons who have been running our planet, okay. Now this is the important part, because Alex Jones is actually telling you the truth about this, okay, because he is telling you that there is a government behind the government. That part of it is true. So he's going to tell you some truth, and then he's going to tell you some fiction. So when he's talking about this so-called group of people that's behind the government, that's behind the scenes, that's pulling the strings, he is a part of them. And he's saying and telling you what they want you to know and what they want you to believe. This is how they've been able to pull the wool over the people's eyes and maintain control through lies and deceit. One of the things that you see on TV every day, you see this on TV every single day. When you go onto the evening news every day, the first thing you see is what? You turn on the evening news. It doesn't matter what state you live in, you're going to see a black person committing a crime. It doesn't matter. ABC, CBS, NBC. It does not matter which channel you're going to watch. the first thing you see on the evening news is a black person committing a crime. Why? To instill in white people's minds that white people cannot trust black people. Okay? So then black people feel like they're mistreated by white people because black people are constantly treated like common criminals. Because white people believe that black people are just criminals. Because that's what you see on the evening news every day. It's purposefully designed so that there is a white and black divide. So now, this black president comes into office, okay? White people are scared of him. Why? Because they've already instilled in your mind that black people are nothing but criminals. So now, the same exact thing that Alex Jones has claimed about George W. Bush, he is now saying the exact same thing about Barack Obama. It's for fear-mongering purposes. So that to continue to instill in white people's minds that black people cannot be trusted. So white people can pretend like they don't see black people being murdered because they deserve that treatment. They're nothing but common criminals. What amazes me, however, is when black people go along with what Alex Jones is saying about Barack Obama without thinking twice that maybe Alex Jones is not being truthful. Alex Jones recently placed a video on YouTube stating that the police shootings that are happening around the United States that's being reported are being orchestrated by Barack Obama. Okay? This is not true information. First of all, he had already stated when George Bush was in office that George Bush put laws in place that gave the police the rights to use brutal force and took away the rights of the citizens. Okay? He has already initiated a police state before Obama came into office. So his most recent video claiming that these police shootings are not real, when he has already claimed years ago that the police have more rights to just shoot people. It is mind-boggling that he's now going to flip-flop. That in the past, George Bush gave police more rights, but now that Obama is in office, Obama is now orchestrating this. Police shootings have always been happening in the black community. This is nothing new. It is nothing orchestrated by Barack Obama. However, the elite group, the globalists, they are orchestrating something. So you have to then pay attention to try to figure out what is it that they're orchestrating, that they're blaming on Barack Obama. As a matter of fact, after Alex Jones claimed that George Bush put in place a law that gave police the right to use brutal force, I remember that the police shootings in the area where I live increased. Okay, this increase, and this was years ago, long before Barack Obama came in office. Long before Barack Obama came in office, the police shootings increased. In 1 year, there was over 20 in my area alone of police shooting unarmed black people, none of which made national television. It was talked about on the news locally, but not nationally. They would announce a police shooting, and then you wouldn't hear anything else about it. So then the Trayvon Martin incident happened. And I'm sure Infowars claimed that Barack Obama was behind it. But from what I remember, the Trayvon Martin case got really big because Trayvon Martin's body was in the morgue for a while before his parents knew where he was. He died, he was in the morgue, and he was missing. So then after his parents found out where his body was, it became an outrage on social media that he died and the police did not notify his family. That's how it originally blew up. Black people all over the United States got angry and mad because this type of thing had been happening. And it got worse. So then you go onto the internet. What do you see? You see people claiming that Barack Obama is orchestrating this. Why? Again, for only one sole purpose, and that is for the racial divide. White people have to believe that a black person could not possibly have just been killed for no reason. They have to be some type of criminal. So when white people believe that, and then you participate in it, you only make black people even more angry. And this is the racial divide. It's getting worse and worse and worse because white people are being told by Infowars that black people are just common criminals. They look at the statistics in Chicago, which is only one city. Most people don't live in Chicago. Most black people are the working class citizens. We get up every day, we go to work, we work for somebody else, we go home, we receive a paycheck. We get up the next day, we go to work, we receive a paycheck. We are the working class. If white people want to know what black people are really like, please pay attention to the black people that sit next to you at work every day, or the people that you see at school every day. That's what a real image of a black person is. He's not a stereotypical black person, okay? Because the stereotype right now is that black people don't do nothing but shoot each other. But guess what? The majority of white people who are shot are also shot by other white people. So you can't say black on black crime because there's white on white crime. There's the majority of other races of people are also shot by other races of folks. So what is the elite trying to do? What are the so-called globalists trying to do by showing these police shootings on TV and the racial divide is increasing? What are they trying to do? Barack Obama is not orchestrating this. This is not something that is happening so that Barack Obama can put in a police state. The police state already exists. That's why this is happening. They don't want you to believe that they are losing control. So they're trying to maintain control by pretending that these protests are not really happening and that they're happening unjustly. They are orchestrating something that's going to happen after Donald Trump becomes president. I believe there is a group of people who are using the white people for their own personal agenda. And eventually they are going to throw the rest of those white people under the bus, along with the black people and the rest of the people of color. Have you seen the movie Brexit? It's spelled Brexit. It's supposed to be a movie that is supposed to be convincing Europe to kick Britain out of the European Union. Well, I don't believe that. I believe that Britain is purposefully exiting so they can save themselves and then leave the rest of the Europeans out to dry. Did you hear what Donald Trump said? Law and order. Law and order. This is how he is going to justify finally enacting those concentration camps that have been in existence for over a decade, even maybe 2 decades.